We were all very pleased at the meeting. The meeting went very efficiently, very smoothly. The attendance was great. I believe that we had a fairly broad representation of the community there. And it was just one of those things that for a fledgling starting group was extremely rewarding. I mean, Robert and I had a chance to talk a few hours afterwards. And both of us agreed that considering we spent several months with a number of people, some of whom are in this room, getting this organization off the ground, it was incredibly gratifying to see the reaction of people and the hopefulness that the people had, and to a certain degree of extent, the expectation. There is an expectation, a greater expectation in this municipality now than I think there has been in the last several years. So that's a really good sign. And I think also the fact that the organization is a broad-based association, that it's not dedicated to any one specific issue in Port Hope, I think that gives us a different and unique approach to dealing with the issues. And I think people are going to be more open to both bring issues to us and provide support for those issues. Okay. Once we have the board fully in place, once we have another 8 people to functionally put in there, the idea is that we'll have a number of issues brought to us, and the board will then go through the issues that are presented and prioritize which we need to take a look at. And what we're going to try and do is we don't want to try and cover too many issues at one point, because it's simply going to water us down. So we want to be able to handle a couple of issues that are most pressing and try and do it with some degree of alacrity.
What we're trying to do is, obviously if you go through those numbers, you're going to find that there is a problem within the system itself. So what we're trying to do is say, okay, there are some problems. Here's some issues that we have found. Maybe we should take a look at these. And that's all we're doing. I mean, for 50 years, nobody has ever said anything to go, excuse me, we have an issue here. This number doesn't add up. So we're doing it. So when this past committee of the whole, when we finished with it, Ted, I didn't rant and rave and go, excuse me, you didn't give me a satisfactory answer. I even offered to say, I know that you're really busy. You don't have to give me an answer this Tuesday. You can give it to me at the next council of whole. Liz came up and we had a good talk. And I said, you know, here's what we're looking for. That's all we would like. And the purpose of this is that somebody needs to recognize that out of the grand total of 1,103 line items in the budget, they achieved 104 of them. That's 9%. Okay, let's think if a doctor only actually did 9% of all of his surgeries correct. Now, part of where this gets into is the cost overruns. Everything all of a sudden costs a whole lot. So they had budgeted in 2010 for $30,000 in dredging. Then they did an RFP for $125,000 and says clearly it should not exceed this. Then the bill came in at $281,000. You know what the thing is? Let's do it again. It's got to stop. We have to be in a position that we can say, whoa, that isn't. If it's going to be $200,000, if they put down $300,000 for 2011, I'd be a happy camper. Because at least that's realistic, and now I know where my taxes are going. But if you're going to say it's only going to be $11.75, and the bill comes in at $12,000, I'm upset. And I would just like to know how they can only score 9% accuracy. I think they canceled because they're starting to go that the people are actually paying attention. I mean, we started off in October. 2 of us are here. Okay, there were 6 people. We're now almost 500. We'll be 3,000 by the summer. This isn't happening because people are going, oh yeah, it's a perfect place. No, we would like transparency. If they're telling us that it's going to be transparent, then it needs to be transparent. Why? I mean, Ted, every day. Okay, I got questioned by somebody today, and they said, well, you know, it's you newcomers that come to Port Hope. Lived here 22 years, lived here 80 years, lived here 40 years, lived here 20 years, lived here 50 plus years, lived here 30 years. this isn't a group of radical people. It's a bunch of people that are saying, enough. That's all. Tell us what's going on. Tell us what's going on with our money. We're not saying you're doing anything wrong. We just
I think what we want to be able to do, and we've used the term over and over again, is we want to be able to provide a voice, a long-term, consistent voice. I mean, you were at the meeting, I don't know how many weeks ago, where the room was filled. There were a lot of voices in that room, and there was some certain degree of consistency, certain tenor in the room. But then again, you know, at the end of the evening, those people are gone. What happened at the next committee of the whole meeting? Well, the same people were back, are very small. You know how many people come out to these meetings on average. So what happens is an incident will occur, all the voices come out, and then all the voices die down. What we want to be able to do is to be able to provide a consistent voice so that we can hopefully, and in reasoned fashion, bring that voice to council so that it's not coming in waves. Because if it comes in waves, it doesn't have any... I don't think we're trying to place any restrictions on something because, I mean, obviously we're trying to be as democratic as possible. I mean, this is open to each and every ratepayer within Port Hope. We're not looking for people who are going to kind of come out of left field and not want to work, you know, kind of
Will we have an official voice?
Yes. Yeah.
The PHRA will have an official voice. Okay, so there will be, every one of the members has a right to their own opinion. We don't want to stifle that at all. But when the PHRA says it, that will be the official line. You will be notified by it, and we will be, it'll either be one of the four of us or a assigned spokesman for the group. So it just won't be, I can be Robert Palutnik without being part of the PHRA. I still want to have that. Okay, because God knows if anybody that's read Port Hope politics, I've been slammed enough in that one. No, and part of it is you can't answer. Because you are this. But in turn, I also, when you speak, you have to be able to speak for the association because we have 500 members. So it's not my opinion that I'm expressing, it's the 500 members. That's why you're here, so that you understand that we're expressing for the membership. It's not ours.